So, just a quick update on the social media detox. Hey guys, it is me, Shaniqua, the brand story coach, and I'm following up because I forgot to do it yesterday. Yesterday was my first Film Your Shit class, which is a 4-month program that I signed up with Laconic and Nova House. So it's going to be pretty dope. My group is doing a thriller. I'm not interested in thrillers, so this is going to be a bit of a stretch. So I'm actually kind of excited about it. What else happened? So that was day 2 of the social media. I also met with, on day 2, I also met with my mastermind group. And so that went pretty well. I did a video for day 1 before day 1 was over. And on day 1, that evening, I met with 2 clients. One was a bargain because she's going to be helping me with my resume so I can leave education. My mouth hurts so bad. I took today off of work because it really hurts. It hurts a lot. I had to go to the dentist. And then the dentist sent me to my regular doctor. That's where I am right now because I have to get a referral for an ENT to check out a mass, a solid mass that showed up on an x-ray. It's like 2 centimeters. It's pretty big and solid, and a concern to my dentist. So she actually sent the x-rays over to her friend in radiology, and she will get back to me to let me know what the friend thinks. Interesting thing is my dentist 3 years ago, in 2017, he found it. It was a different dentist. He found it, but he wasn't concerned. And so I wasn't concerned. And so for 3 years, I haven't been concerned. And now, this current dentist, she's like, like nothing should be showing up on a panoramic x-ray. I came to look at teeth, not to find a mass. And apparently it's pretty large. Doesn't help that I'm fat. I can't really, she said it's towards my throat. I don't know. I can't really find it. But like I said, this is the second time I've seen it. So it's definitely there. I can't tell you if it's larger than it was in 2017 because I don't know. I don't have the x-rays, so I don't know anything about that. So like I said, she said it's pretty large, about 2 centimeters in diameter. So I would not be overly concerned because it looked like it's holding the same shape and whatever. I wouldn't be overly concerned except for this. This thing, back in May of 2018, I had a dream that I went to the dentist and the dentist found cancer. I went to go get my teeth dealt with and the dentist found cancer. And so, which was really interesting is that all of last year, I'm panicked about it. I'm getting blood tests. I'm having MRIs and CAT scans of my body because I'm thinking this thing that I have pain here, this has got to be it. And, if there is cancer, let me find it early. And so all the MRIs and all the CAT scans came back and said, girl, you are fine. You are great. So I'm like, okay. I released that worry, which is really interesting. And so here it is. I go to the dentist for a swollen gum. Like I said, it's so painful. And she was like, I'm concerned. And I'm like, and what's really funny is in the dream, it was that dentist office, the one that I'm going to, my kid's dentist. And I was like, oh, wow. So 95% of me is not concerned. The other 5% is like, hey, girl, you had a dream about this, remember? And the dentist caught it and it was stage 2 and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, So I'm not going to panic about it. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm still in my 21-day fast. So I'm going to holler at God and be like, yo, God, let's talk. So anyway, back to where I was, because I just fast forwarded to day 3. So back to day 2, I meet with the 2 clients, and so like I said, one was as a favor for the resume, and then the other one was a reschedule of a class that we had this week. We bumped my class so that we all could do this other coach, April. She had a class, and there's benefits to doing things live versus replay. So we all wanted to go to it live, so we went to it live, which means my class got bumped. And anyway, so I met with one of the clients. Then she's about to do some really dope things for foster children, which I'm really excited about, as a result of us working together and unleashing that story, and her reminding her of her calling of helping children who have been through some pretty terrible circumstances. And so she's honing that focus onto foster children, which I'm so excited about. But what's really interesting is the more I do my classes, she did part 2 of my Master Your Story bootcamp. The more I do my part 1, because that's what I did with the barter that I did earlier that day. The more I do part 1, the more I'm like, I gotta get this out to the world. Like, it is so good. And I don't know why I'm feeling emotional about it right now, because I'm feeling really emotional. It could be the pain that's throbbing in my teeth right now. But the power of just the first class. I mean, the second class is powerful, no doubt. The second class is about shaping up your story, like how to tell your story. But the first class is about finding that story. And in finding that story, you find out a couple of things. You find out what your story is, what your message is, and who you're talking to, and why it's important. And I guess not a couple of things, I guess a lot of things. Like in that first class is a deep dive excavation. It's like a root canal, to use a dentist analogy. It's like a root canal through your experiences and through your life to find out what it is that you're going to do. And honestly, the more people run from the story, the more frustrating I think entrepreneurship is for them, because they don't feel totally aligned. But when you have an understanding that life is like a math class, everything that you've learned has its place and is building you, strengthening you to be able to solve even more complex problems. You know what I mean? So like, in math, you start off by counting, and then you learn by families, and then grouping, and then addition, and then I think it's addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, or however you learn in your country. But whatever it is that there is a scaffold to it. You build upon those previous things. And that's exactly what life is. There is no such thing as a wasted experience. None. Because there is value in everything we've done. Everything that we've experienced, everything that we've been through, everything that we have learned, there is value in it all. And so when I met with D, I'm just going to call her D. When I met with D on Saturday before my class with P, what she said, I had to listen to it again and again. I listened to it like twice, because it was like, this is it. Like, listen, this is why I'm not concerned about this thing in my face, whatever it is, be it just a calcification. And honestly, that's what I saw when I researched it on my own after the first dentist, that it's a calcification thing, which I could buy and believe, because when I was younger, just real quick, I did something very gross. Under your tongue, you have like these veins and stuff. But what I was able to do is I was able to squirt like saliva from under. Like, I would do that, and then like, And then sometimes these little white chips would come out. And when I looked that up, the little white chip, that was calcium. And so when I did the research after the first dentist and they said it's a calcified something, I was like, okay, I I can understand that, because like I said, I would get this little chip that comes out. So it's really weird. I know I'm not the only one, but so it's a little chip. So the fact that the little chip was calcium told me that I don't think this is a big deal. Like, more than likely, I forgot what the word was, but when I looked it up, it was like, oh, it's a calcification thing. So it's not like a tumor or anything. So that's why I'm really not worried about it, because I do remember doing that. But also, the other reason I'm not worried is because I've discovered my purpose. My purpose is to help lead people to their greatness, or remind them of their greatness, so that they can go out and do great work. So, like I said, with Dee, um, we were able to combine everything to give her a brand message. Like, she had to split herself into parts. She had this part and then that part, but through us working together, she saw how it comes together. And one of the things that she said was, she's so clear and she feels so aligned. And I was like, yes, 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 because that's what this thing is about. It's about feeling clear and aligned and having the go light to move forward with intention. So, anyway, this is long enough. This is 11 minutes. So day 2 was really interesting. I had to fight against my introverted need to withdraw. Because, like I said, I'm with a group that is doing a movie that I don't want anything to do with, as far as, like, it's not my genre. But I do want to learn the camera work, so this is going to be a stretch. And I had to remind myself, I was like, Shaniqua, you're not here to make your own things. You are here to learn every part of the camera, or every part of what goes together in creating film, because I do plan on creating my own movies this year. And so, no matter how I felt about what we were doing, there's a greater good to it. And that's what I had to remind myself about it. And I guess that's a lesson that I can give you right now to take for yourself, is that really, really reflect. And if you're feeling opposition to something, really reflect on that and see if that is you personally, rejecting the growth. Because growth is uncomfortable. Growth is uncomfortable. Goals are uncomfortable, because goals are growth on another level. So all of it is uncomfortable. And just because it's uncomfortable doesn't mean we have to tuck in like a turtle and run, or waddle, or whatever it is turtles do. So let's move forward. And I'm going to go take some pain medicine, because my mouth is hurting. All right. So that's my update on day 1. And well, I guess I partially talked about day 1, day 2, and day 3. See y'all. Bye.